There it goes.
They're
Can't believe that
delicious.
thing knew it was 4 o'clock.
They're extremely delicious.
I'm going to call the meeting of the Coffee County Planning Commission to order at 4 o'clock, August the 27th, 2024. The first thing we're going to do is approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Good deal. All right, I've got a motion from Rodney. Do I have a second?
Second.
Randy seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll move on to public comments. Do we have anybody that wants to speak? Don't see anybody that wants to speak. All right, thank you guys for being here anyway.
Hey, Mr. Elam.
There's Paul.
I'll slide down.
Come on in.
Hey, I'd like to say congratulations to Coffee County on their blowout of Franklin County in football this week.
All right.
Their blowout of Franklin County in football, 49-0.
Thank you. I'm glad we got that on
Yeah.
record.
Yeah, boy, that's easy.
Hope my friends in Franklin County are watching.
How you doing?
Oh, good, how you doing?
I'm doing fairly well for an old man.
All right.
I don't look the same no more.
You lost a little weight.
Lost a lot of weight. Started walking skeleton.
We just approved the agenda, Paul. We had no public comments. We're going to the approval of the previous minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
I make a motion to approve the
I have a motion by Ms. Nettles. Do I
I'll
have a
second it.
second?
I'll second.
Rodney seconds it. Mr. Duncan seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
And I'm Mr. Rodney, my dad.
Opposed? Our first order of business will be the preliminary final plat for Bladder map parcel 083, parcel 014.10 on Asbury Road. I have a staff recommends that it be approved. Is that correct, Cindy? It's not on here, but that's, you got 30 seconds.
And you can stand over there or right there, wherever you wanna be.
It's all good, I'll just stand here. My wife says I'm really loud. But anyway, we had actually kind of looked at this one at the last meeting, and he was just wanting to split his property into three, had soul sites and all that stuff on it. We just hadn't gotten it back from Charbonneau yet as of the last meeting, and so anyway, in that time, he has since gotten it back, and we've got Mr. Charbonneau's signatures on here for the approvals of those two lots, but he's carving the house off on lot number 1 there. It's got an existing septic up in the front yard, and then, the shaded areas on lots 2 and 3 would be the sole areas for the back lots, but anyway, he was just trying to cut his property in 3, and so we finally got that back from Alan, signed off on that, so we're seeking approval of that.
And that's all we lacked at the last meeting, wasn't it? Okay.
In
What's
fact,
the road access on that?
It's on Asbury, and then the two rear lots, lot number 3 actually
Oh, rear.
owns the right of way, and then lot number 2 would have an easement to cross that.
Oh.
So actually, he went ahead and got all of the signatures except for the planning and codes and everything. So he's actually got all the signatures on it. But
Any more questions about that?
I make a motion to approve it.
Mr. Duncan makes a motion to approve. Very good job, Nick. Thank you.
Always.
To have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Harrell. All those in favor, if there's no more discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Nick. That was good. Are you doing the next one too?
yeah.
Okay. I wondered why you were still standing there.
I
I
was
wouldn't have
saying,
complimented you that time if I.
Think they just have a
May
seat.
go now.
The next one we have is a preliminary final plat for Brown, map 023, parcel 018.05 and 002.05 on Noah Road.
So, as you can see, this is 5 acres, so normally we wouldn't have to bring this before y'all, except for that, the 5 acres is actually coming off of Mr. Brown's property. He he's got a tract here and he's got a separate tract here. And, can you pan back up just a little bit, please? Yeah, there we go. And then, there we go. So this line right here is actually the line between those two tracts of land. So the 5 acres that he's carving out actually is comprised of, you know, a chunk here and a chunk here, you know, both of course that are less than 5 acres. So that's kind of why we had to come before y'all. But anyway, he's had his soil sites done and all that stuff. And so he's looking to build in this area and had the soils work done and everything. So, yeah, we're just seeking approval for him to carve that out and build a house.
I don't have a staff recommendation, but it meets meets all the criteria. Any questions on that? If there are no questions, I would ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Mr. Harrell to approve.
I second that motion.
Ms. Nettles seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hey, you almost did it in 30 seconds. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah,
Nick.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, that about does it, except for one thing. I've been talking to the chairman of the Board of Zoning Appeals and Mayor Hunt, who's also a member of this committee still. And we all agree, and I think you will too. I don't know how many of you have looked at your planning books in depth, but we have some typos, we have some handwritten things in there, we have some discrepancies in a place or two, nothing major, and we don't want to change the substance of this book, but we do want to go over and try to correct all that stuff. So this is the plan that we think we need to come up with, and that is that at the end of every meeting, we'll spend a little time. If you know, I'll be reading the book, Dennis will be reading it. I'd like for you guys to look through it, and we'll go just 1 or 2 chapters at a time. And if you find anything, whether it's a typographical error or something that's written in pencil, for instance, in the Be the Bush thing, they claimed that we didn't allow churches in certain areas. However, in 2011, obviously the churches being left out was an accident. It was when it was transposed, it wasn't put in there like it's supposed to. But in 2011, the Planning Commission and the County Commission wrote a resolution to enter church in there. In some of your books, it'll be handwritten in, right, in that area. And I think C2, right? In C2. We want to get that. We want to get that in the book like it's supposed to be. And we're also going to work on putting part of the book on the website, basically the stuff that for building and stuff. This is too much to go on our website, or at least that's what I've been told. So, does everybody have one of these?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to bring, and I don't know why I didn't bring it today. I'm going to bring my countywide growth plan that I've had since the beginning, and let each one of you. I wouldn't read it. Ms. Nettles, you've read it, and it kind of explains some things to you.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah, it does.
it? And you don't have to read the whole thing and look at all the graphs or all that stuff, but you'll be amazed at why some of this stuff was done and how it was done. And what you'll really be amazed is this was done in 1999 through 2001. You're going to be amazed at how close the population is guessed and several other things. Where the areas that were settled are, it's pretty fascinating when you get right down to it. Boring as the dickens, but so that's what we're going to try to do. And if you get, but everybody has one of these, right?
Yes, sir.
Some of these books won't. The substance will match, but the arrangement in some of them is a little different than the others, and we want to do away with that. We want to get one code book that's easy for everybody and something that we can put the real substance that builders and developers need on the website. So at our next meeting, when we come in, and I've asked, the Board of Zoning Appeals runs into some of these things that we have that are contrary to one another. They run into that quite often, and Kevin Sipe has a list. It's not a very long list, but we want to take care of that. And when we get all this done to the best of our ability, we will put it forth in a resolution for the county commission to vote on, and we'll call it a revision if we don't come up with a better name. And the county commission, when they pass that, then it gives us a starting date for that particular book, just like this one is November the 21st, 2006. This one will be whatever drop dead date we have to go forward. Any questions? Well, it's not an easy task, and it's boring, but it needs to be done, and that's why y'all get paid this big money to sit on this committee. So,
So our homework assignment before the next meeting is the first chapter?
whatever you want to read, and see,
Just need to know what my homework assignment is.
you know,
Next time.
you've got the enactment chapter, and then you go to general provisions, and then I personally think, I did like the way the other book was done. I personally think the definitions ought to be in the front of the book. They're in the back of this one, but that's something that we can all discuss at a different time. But let's try to do the enactment and tell you why it's done, and let's try to do the general provisions, if we can get through that. And if we don't get through it all, that's fine. We're not on a time limit, but we do need to, I think we got a real good committee, and we really need to work on that. If that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm asking for your help, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, Paul knows everything there is to know about it, so. But that's all I have. Anybody else have anything? How about a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
That didn't take long.
second.
I got a motion from Randy.
That's Randy.
And
That's
I'm gonna
Sammy's
tell
job.
y'all, I wanna say one other thing, we're adjourned as far as that goes. Sammy, if you miss, I'm gonna understand, okay? I mean, Sammy's got a
Well,
big
I'm
crop.
gonna do my best to be here.
I know that, but, you know, that's understandable.